G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have had a very wet period while I've been away from you for a wee while, and it coincided with us all getting croc. Not COVID, just this bloody bug that's been going around, so yeah, wasn't much fun. But we've got it sorted, but yeah, we've had to make a few realisations for winter, and a few projects have gone on hold. So water scheme is on ice. It's going to happen because it's all here. Tank's arrived, that's great. We've got about 10,000 litres of water sitting in it so it doesn't blow away. But yeah, that one's going on hold, and to be fair, I think the Land Cruiser rebuild is going to be put on ice for a wee while too. So main projects coming up now are going to be getting ready for lambing and fencing. Quite a bit of fencing to get done, so we better get on top of that. But anyway, today we're going to jab these ewes in the race there. Can't really see them. These are the early girls, the unplanned super earlies. There's only 31 of them. So anyway, let's get it done. Just got to get a nice clean needle in this gun here to start with. Always start the job with a nice clean one. There we go. So this is the Sidectin injection, which is a drench. Well, we call it a long acting. Compared to an oral, it's long acting. But it's about a 35-day action. They do a long acting one, which is 100. But you've got to be quite careful with that because there's a big lead in and there's a big tail out. So in theory, you've got to give them an oral drench at the start and an oral drench at the end. Whereas this stuff here, you just give them the shot and they're good for about 35 days. Which is quite awesome because that means every worm they're eating, in theory, is dying. So when they're on the paddock for 35 days and they're eating grass all the time, it gives your farm a really good clean out. It's also really good for the ewes. But the big thing is the lambs miss out on a worm burden early on. Helps to reduce that. So yeah, something we've been doing for a wee while. We're not doing everything. We won't do the singles because we need to make sure that we don't just put the resistance through the roof. If we do everything, then every worm on the farm's getting exposed. But yeah, it's something that certainly made a big difference to production on this farm. As you can see, these girls are getting pretty round. They're not necessarily that fat, but they are getting very heavily in lambs, so we want to get them in and get them out. Because after we've done this, we've still got to give them the vaccination, and we'll go through that in a minute. And once again, Maltine with selenium, just a 5-in-1 vaccine. There's all the, what does it do? Doesn't say on here, does it? Just all the general bugs that we get. Come on, girls. Got to be a bit careful with the long wool because sometimes it gives you a bit of a false sense of it going in. But one of those things that's got to be done. Hey, girl. Go to you. And there we go. They're all done. Hopefully they get back to the paddock, which is just that one there. Before anything gets staggery, that one out in front looks a bit concerning, but she's out in front. So should be right. So timing here could be a bit off. We don't really know because these are the unplanned ones. The drench, ideally, you want to get them as close to set stocking as possible. Now they've already been set stock, so that's fine. That's not a concern. The vaccine though is a wee bit, because the vaccine you want going into their bloodstream, into their system, 2 to 4 weeks before they lamb. Use lamb over 2.5 weeks, so that doesn't quite balance out, but ultimately I think there's probably a bit of a give and take there. But yeah, the whole idea is sheep don't pass antibodies through the placenta, it's all in the colostrum. So you give them a good spike of the antibodies and they'll put that into the colostrum, and then the lamb gets that when they get their first few drinks. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some benefit out of doing that, but it just depends when they start lambing. Nothing's lambed yet, which is awesome, because the later the better ultimately. That ewe that was groggy, she, haven't seen her again, haven't picked up anything dead in there. So she was obviously good, but yeah, that vaccine timing thing is a little bit concerning because the lambs may not get any benefit from that. Depends when the ewe's making her colostrum. To my understanding anyway. Someone might be able to correct me there if I'm wrong. But yeah, it is what it is. They're going to be looked after pretty well. Hopefully the ewes have got a pretty good immune system there anyway. They pass a bit of that through into the colostrum even without the vaccine. But yeah, that's what it is. And there they go off to their paddock again. They're getting quite big, aren't they? See the waddling going on. Poor girls. Not a fun time to be in lamb. Sorry, not a fun time to be due to lamb. Nothing wrong with being in lamb, but yeah, being due to lamb any day. July. Don't like it. Oh guys, another day, some more breaks to shift. Just been around everything this morning and made sure everything's happy. Shifted a couple of mobs and just thought I'd give you a bit of an update about what's happening on crop. So way over there, we have the two-tooth closer, we have the hoggets further away. Hoggets have just had a shift this morning, so they're quite happy. Two-tooths, as you can see there, well, don't know if you can see, they're due for a shift maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, we'll see how we go. But we'll zoom back out there. So we've just given these girls a shift down here. That's the lighter mob of parental ewes, so they've got another 4-day break. Just spent a heap of time. This line used to run the whole way down to the fence, and we've just wound it back up to where they are. There you go, the terminal ewes shifted yesterday, triplets day before, and there you go the other mob of mixed age ewes which were shifted 2 days ago, and yeah, they've still got plenty there. Managed to have about 15 mils of unforecast rain overnight though, which is right now really annoying because I'm soaking wet, but it's all good. Everything stood up pretty well, so yep. Early lambers moving on to a new paddock. Being a wee bit naughty here because there's 206 sheep here, I think it is, and this is like a 9.5 hectare big hill paddock that I'm giving them. But I'm out of reels and standards. I've got 2 mobs that are like this. The triplets, they're still on Swedes, but they're going to be going to grass maybe tomorrow, if not the next day. Just see when they finish their last break on Swedes. And to buy enough reels and standards to do this job is going to cost me about $1,500. And yes, we're going to need them in the future, but this year we just don't have the money to pay for them. We have the money there, but we want to buy some trees for some shout abouts and a few other bits and pieces, so I think that might be a more important thing. So anyway, these girls are going to be here for 10 days. I want to leave a little bit of grass out here because this is the hogget rotation, and once some fences become available, we will split this section in half down there over the river. Oh, you can see the river just there, just the other side. That's the boundary fence there, so that's us. That's a separate break, but yeah, it's meaning a lot less work. Another day, guys. Beautiful sunshine today. Awesome day. Look at that, would you? Woohoo! Anyway, bit of a plan for what's going to be happening in the next few weeks with crop, because we've still got a lot left. So we've got that mob over there that was shifted 2 days ago. They got a heap of feed left on their break. These girls have just been shifted now, obviously. There's 2 breaks left in here. These are the terminals. That's the lighter ewes. That's the fatter end of that mob. We've got this mob here, which are the triplets, which tomorrow are going to head up this hill and go up to a grass paddock and stay there for, well, until I've got some more fences ready. Because we're running out of fencing gear pretty quick, and I don't really want to go buy a whole lot more. So, nah, they'll be right. Just like that other mob, they can go up there and stay on a whole paddock until some becomes available. When we get past there, we've got two-tooths right there and hoggets further over. Hoggets are going to stay there. They've got enough crop in that paddock to go till mid-September probably, so that'll be awesome, because you can't quite see their block behind those trees there way at the back. There's ewes eating that right now, so if it gets a chance to grow, that's great. So when that mob are finished, they're going to go to that other paddock, and there's a bit of area over there for them. And then the two-tooths, so we've got this mob here. I haven't quite worked this out completely yet. I think this is how we're going to do it. We've got this mob here are going to carry on that way. Two-tooths are going to start up there and start coming towards them. I don't know yet. And then we're still going to have this big strip in the middle that I think we're going to put the two-tooths back there, this mob back there again. And then it'll either be the two-tooths or that mob again come back and start working that way till they meet in the middle. There's still quite a bit of feed there, and I'm sort of working on yeah, Tutus coming off maybe around the 20th of August, because yeah, they're going to need, ideally they would be off the 1st of August, but that's not going to happen. Ideally they would have a month on grass before they lamb, so they can at least have 10 days on grass before we spread them out. 25 days before they lamb. Mixed age ewes I'm a bit less concerned about, but they're going to be on till about the 1st of September, along with this mob here too. They're the longest anything here's ever been on sweets. Hoggets are going to be on, hopefully, like I said, till mid-September, bearing in mind they didn't go on till the 1st of July-ish. So, yeah, they'll have a similar amount of time on Swedes, just a month delayed. And hopefully our grass covers are looking awesome, and we have plenty of feed around for lambing time. And if this works well, we might just continue doing this for a few years and see what we reckon, because, yeah, it's got its downsides, but it's a system that's really saved our bacon this year, in a year where we didn't think we were going to get through because of the drought we had. If you head back and look at the videos from sort of February through to April, yeah, things were pretty desperate and pretty dire there for a long time, and Southland has provided. Not a real cold start this morning, but she's about -3, so let's see how she goes. New battery on it should be pretty good. Easy as that. So we've run into a bit of an issue with bailage too. We've got a bit much. We've got a lot too much. So this tube here, we need to make sure we get rid of all this one. Because we're not going to have any crop here next year, so we've also got to open this one for the sheep. So we've got a whole tube up at the cattle that we're not going to open this year, which is, it's not good, but it is good too, because it'll keep us fine. There's about 75 bales up there that'll stay there till next year, which, yeah. Only thing is, when I'm going up there now to feed cattle, I've got to take 2 bales from down here on the farm, way up there as well, and then use 2 bales from the tube that's open up there to make it all balance out. So not the end of the world, but just a wee bit of juggling around. You know how uncoordinated it is trying to do this with one hand? There we go. Got it. Well, there goes the cattle all fed again for another 4 days. A lot of wastage down here under this. There's about 6 or 8 inches of just sloppy, crappy grass and all around here on top of the rock, which is making it bloody messy. But we come over here to look at this one, and it is a completely different story. Wee bit there, where a section fell off the end of a bale one day, but hey, that happens. There's literally like half an inch, maybe an inch of crap around here, and the rest of it falls in the bottom of the feeder as they pick the bale out. They pick away at that and it falls down in there. I'm rating this thing, I think it's bloody brilliant. So goal now is to have enough money on hand before 1st of May next year to get at least 2 more of these here, so next year we can just have them dotted the whole way along, and yeah, waste a whole lot less grass, more feed for the cattle to eat, and to be fair, with the square bales, they're actually easier to load and get the strings off. Brr, guys, she's a bit cold. No bird's nests hiding in there. Nope, we're good. Right, -5. Let's go a bit, girl. We might glow her this morning. Oh, that was good. No, can't quite see. A little bit of a cough. Oh, wasn't at 800. Oh well. She'll warm up. So I'll just put the oldest in the school bus, and I'm going to go have a coffee when that thing warms up, because we're straight up the road with that this morning with 5 tonne of water on the back. So she may as well warm up a bit before we go and get into it. Well, that sucks. So this girl doesn't have a heater. That didn't sound very happy. Which means now I've got to use cold air in the air conditioning to get the ice off the windows, which is, yeah, a bit counterproductive, isn't it? We've got a bit of a problem, guys. My electric fence units are not working, and power is turned on. There's nothing on the meter. We've got no power. We've got nothing. Thankfully though, it's a planned outage, so we are prepared. Yep, that's right. We spent more money. Look, it happens. Planned outages are a thing. Probably going to become more common in the future when the grid starts breaking down from charging EVs, but today it is just because there's a couple of new houses going up and they're putting poles in for them, so I need those fence units up there going, or at least the big one, because all my crop over there relies on power to keep the sheep in. So after having read the instructions, this is the fancy idle switch. We've got to make sure that's off. Crank that around, choke on, hit the starter button. That's good. Back to there. Bang on the bolts. Now, supposedly, I'll plug her into there or there, and away we go. Is that plugged in? And that's that going. Now, there's just one more little thing that we've got to do, is we've got to flick that switch that I said we had to have off now that it's running on, and I'll show you what that does. So at the moment, she's just running at her, that's the engine's revs that it's meant to run at. We flick this switch. Now it's only running where it needs to run to generate the power that is being required. And we've still got the same volts. And that all seems to be running as it should be, which is pretty cool. A very, very quiet little machine, that, actually quite nifty. So it's 3500 watt or something like that. So it'll run that if we need it to. Not that I really want to anytime soon, but if we need to, take it on the farm, run power tools with it. Can take it camping if we want, but don't really need to. So a big thanks to the team at Frank's Motorcycles in Matera for sorting us out with that. And there's actually quite a few other bits and pieces we've done with them. New fuel pump, new four-wheel drive clutch, that hit in the alternator a wee while ago. I took that bike to the MTD because that's a bit of a biggie. Bloody great wee business just on the outside of Matera there. Never had a bill from there that we've been horrified by. But yeah, got some great gear there too, so go and check them out if you're looking for some small engine stuff. And we're back at the tractor, and the windows still are not defrosted, but it's going to go. I'll clear the front one off, clear the side one out so I can see what's coming down the road. I wouldn't leave this until the sun's come up and de-ice everything. But we've got some fog rolling in, so that might not happen for a wee while. And also, the cattle are out of water, so they want that water up there. They've been out of water probably since 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. They had a full drop when I left them, but yeah. So we need to get it up there, so let's go. We're up at the kettle, and this bloody tap's frozen, but she is thawing. There we go. Got it. Now we'll let it flow and see how much ice comes out, or is it just going to melt it all? Oop, that was a chunk. Come on. Whoop. Getting there. That might be us actually, that might just be a burr up there. Right. Well, we've got 2 units going again. So that must mean, yep, where are we? There, power's back on. So, turn some lights on. Now apparently if you want to not blow stuff up, somehow, I'm guessing if we turn that off. There we go, only one going. Turn that one off. She revs back up. And off it goes. There we go. Both units running on 240 volt again. Just thought we'd check the oil and see if we, where are we? Presume it's a wee live fan motor, but no. See if you're dirty to oil, it's as clean as a whistle. But anyway guys, I think you'll spend enough time watching me today, so let's start the next video. Post rammer, there, needs a grease, and the stabiliser arms are in here on the tractor, I'll show you. Not the stabiliser arms, these ones here are all seized up. So I'm going to try and free them up so I can get this thing to sit a bit more level, but we'll do that in the next video, eh? So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing, and we will see you next time.